the computer. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Asikhulume about the what we've just read. You guys can either stay unseen or you can be seen. Up to you. But asikhulume about the chapters that we read. Shona kaSabelo, Nkosomhlanga. Has anyone gone to Nkosomhlanga, by the way? I used to go. I used to go.
No,
No.
no. Yeah, Injan Phil.
Ah.
Nakunjan love.
It was lots of fun. It was weird. It'll feel weird. Angazi manje sengathi bafake iy'kipa, thina besingayigqoki iy'kipa. Sasingagqoki bra, singagqoki maphenti, lutho nje, kuwubuhlalo basically only. But now I
Mm.
think things are changing. So as far as I've seen online, sengathi bafake iy'kipa ezimhlophe and stuff. So yeah, but it was very interesting. And there will always be after parties, by the way, which was always very scary and interesting. So I never used to go because sab. But yeah, I had a friend that used to go to these parties and my shutai, it was happening. Anyone else? Oh, one thing I need to mention about Nkosomhlanga ne, yo, every single year that I went, there's a part lana indawo le besiphosa khona umhlanga ne, the reed. We're carrying the reed. All of us, we first fetch the reeds, siuphathe, sambe sicula, and we would be going down enyonini. No, enyogeni. Sorry, enyogeni, not enyonini, enyogeni. And on our way there, I kid you not when I say this, every single year, angazi manje ukuthi kusenzeka yini, but every single year, sasisacula siyahamba sonke siyahamba, and it's like thousands, thousands of females. Um, yo, there would be someone who just screams, or there would be something that happens, and then wonke, like wonke umuntu would start running. But now, so because everyone is running, you don't know why you're running, you don't know why they're running, but you have to run. Otherwise, uzofa. Uzofa because people are just running, they are hysterical, and asaz kwenzakalani. And can I tell you, every single year, no one will tell us what happened. Like, akekho ositshelayo ukuthi, oh, like no gogo wouldn't tell us ukuthi, hayi kahle kahle kwenzeke lokhu nani nani nani. There would be conspiracies ukuthi, well, not conspiracies, I don't know. There would be stories that are said. Ukuthi no, intombazane enye would say no. Khona obone ispoki, omunye wathi no, khona obone inyoka. There would just always be stories all the time, all the time. My family thought I was crazy for going, um, because I mean my family is like super super Christian, so they thought it was crazy that I went. And then when I came back with these stories, they'll be like, "Yeah, we are born, we are bisne." Sinaskazi sithi iya kulowo mhlanga. Uyelani emhlangeni? But not the point. But yeah, it was just every single year without fail, there would always be a stampede. There would be just yeah, there would be crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. I still don't know why
And
it would always happen.
why did you go?
Ish, like looking back, and I was reflecting on it because I was journaling. Looking back, as umdesifazane growing up, and you guys can either attest to that, maybe you didn't feel that pressure. But as I was moving around and going to places, meeting people as a teenager, like it always felt like my family didn't trust me. You know what I mean? So like like every 5 seconds, if I start like throwing a fit, ukuthi ngigezisa izitsha, they would be like, oh, sukomile. Ah, uzokhulelwa. So then to like because I thought I could nip that conversation in the bud by going to Umkhosi Umhlanga because siyahlolwa. I went there to just because I hated that. Like I was just always like, I just like a good time. Doesn't mean that I'm sleeping with boys. Like, so that's why I went because I wanted to just live my life without anyone thinking, oh no, she's just going out there. And then if I gain weight, all of a sudden, yeah, oh, sephuza amapilisi or whatever, whatever's going on. So I didn't want that. Yeah, I know it was quite extreme to do that, but I thought it was the only way that would make my parents and my family to be like, okay, this one is like she's good to go. And it actually worked because after that, like anything I did, whether I had a boyfriend or not, or whatever, it wouldn't be a thing of, oh, usine usenza kanjena ukhuluma nathi kanjena ngoba useqomile blah blah blah, all of those conversations stopped. um and so and I lived my life, so that was it's not a deep reason actually, but also I liked the idea of culture, so I was also very interested in that. And that was the one culture that was still quite prominent at that time. And then I got into varsity, and I started questioning the culture, but then also I still went, which was quite a very absurd thing. But yeah, but I was always questioning Okoko. Like they used to be so annoyed with me. When I got married, they were like, "Hi, hi, siyambonga umkhwenyana wakho wasiphumuza. Uyongena aphendula imibuzo leyo nayo." Because I always used to ask them like, "Okay, but like how do you know? Like what if I don't know, like what if I go horse riding and then you can't see that." Anyways, sorry guys. Yeah, almost went all gooey, but you know what I mean. Like I always used to be like, you can't be sure, you can't be certain. Like, how do you guys know? Like, what's the standard? And they would say things like to me, like, no, siyakubona, singabheki nokubheka nje siyakubona. And I said, what eyes are those? You know, like, how do you just see? How do you see? And then they'll say, oh, indlela ohamba ngayo. Ngithi hawu manje, mhlawumbe uma ngihamba ngendlela ethile, mhlawumbe ngilimele, noma ngiwile, how do you guys know? And they wouldn't give me answers. They just said, you just know. So, anyways.
And it's so interesting now because now we are the elders and we still don't know. They knew. We still don't know because they still don't want to tell us and they're just, leaving us behind with these gaps and they're living with these magical eyes that they're not teaching us. But I think
Yeah.
it was very interesting that you did that and I commend you for it because when you start parenting, if that's in your plans, you are also going to navigate that with a different perspective, with what your parents or older people around you did. I think you'll be more aware, Ogoti, what you say to your kids, it sticks, it sticks with them and then it shapes them. So I'm glad you did that. That was a good experience, and I know you don't think it's that deep, but it really was because then it shaped who you are. So yeah, I commend you for that. It will definitely pay off in future when you are now a parent.
Yeah, you're so right. And like one of the things I'll never do, even with my cousins and with like my nieces and stuff like that, I don't ever say things like, oh, yeah, Jola or whatever. Like I try to be the aunt, say things like, oh, yeah, Jola or whatever. Like I try to be the aunt, in the best way possible, without condoning anything, but also without condemning them, like because oh my goodness, like I used to be friends with boys, because they were just more honest and straightforward. So I just liked being around boys and we'd just joke around and all of that. And that was considered, like as a bad thing. So, but when I see it with my nieces, I don't automatically think, oh, uselala nabo. You know what I mean? I don't know how you
Yeah,
guys are raised, but
yeah.
that's how they used to tell us,
Mm,
like, yeah, usuyalala, usulala wafana. Like, I don't know what they're picturing in their mind, like
yeah,
you're sleeping with all your guy friends, you know? I don't know.
yeah. My little sister and I were the same. It was the same thing. If you come home late, like literally 2 minutes late, they're like, "Oh, boy, happy," So I definitely relate to what you're saying because that's how we were. I don't know if they were scared and they were just projecting their fears onto us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the treatment that we got. And what's funny, because I had my child quite late, and then they start to say, "Hey, so kulile manje, now we need to have like a grandchild." Like, okay, when was I supposed to start this dating? Because there was a time when it was not allowed, and now suddenly I'm much
Yeah.
older, and
Boys are
now it's
villains,
also
and then
wrong.
one day,
You know, like one day now you need a husband and kids. So I don't know, guys. It's just a weird thing, and that's how we were raised,
Mhm.
unfortunately. But it just teaches us to do better. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for sharing that experience. I do relate to the comments. I know them very well.
Thank you. Any other comments? Guys, do we know how old Mandisa is? Because now her with Zenzele, it seems very dicey. Don't know if I missed that part.
I
Mandisa.
think I
Hmm.
think kuna 23, 24. Angazi. I think kuna 23, 24 uma ngikhumbula kahle.
Yeah, I know Zenzele unangaki.
Lapho-ke
Because
ngathi umdala nje.
yeah,
Kodwa he reads ngathi umdala. He reads ngathi umdala, but I may be mhlawumbe he's in his 30s. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, ne. I remember that abazali bakhe washona. So the next chapter ne bathi ubaba kaSabelo umthethwa washona ngonyaka kanye nomama wabo ngo-1999. uZenzele wayena 23, 1999. 23. You know what? Yeah, yeah. What is he doing with a 22-year-old?
You and he can't wait. He even says that Mandisa is going to the read for the last time, right? I
Yeah.
think I saw he made a comment there. Like he can't wait to marry her. Hey bo guys.
Mm. Spusiso, what do you think of that? As the only guy here, what do you think of that?
Hayi nami angazi ngilinde ukuzwa ukuthi nizothini because nami I wish I knew what's the actual age gap because I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. What year was this? Go on, Jay. Angazi, yes. But he certainly is maybe 40, minimum 40, maybe a bit more.
Yeah,
Older.
so I got 79. He was born in 1979.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, but at the time, okay, let's say 2011. This wasn't ekuqaleni lapha kwisahluko 1. Usejele nini?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's around 2011, 12, 13. So like I think it stretches across.
Hmm. Oh, so he's what, 30, 30 something?
Yeah, 30, 32, 33, 34. Because
Okay.
99 plus 10 is going to be 2009, right? And then that's like what? That's 31.
Yeah.
So 2011, 2012, 13, 14 is
Ah,
around my age, basically.
okay. Okay. But I don't know. What's the right age gap? I don't even know. Okay.
That's
But I
why
thought
I'm
he was just
asking.
older. I thought he was way older than that.
No, because Nami, I'm in that predicament, Kwanamanje, because it's like, okay, like I'm 34, so it's like, what's the correct age? Because it's like girls are waving, girls are talking, but it's like ish now. I don't know, because it's like, yo, what is the correct age gap?
Hmm. I just personally feel like people should get married or like after 25, whatever happens, like just after 25.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that ngoba yabona kuthiwa after 25 like your whole brain develops, yabo.
That's why I
So
say it.
that's been a thing. Yeah, and but see abantu uthi there's a difference between something like I don't know, umuntu in say 17 and 24, then somebody who's like I don't know 26. Wait, 17 and 24. How much? How long is that? How many years is that? Uh,
7?
7 years. 7 years, right?
Mm.
So 17 and 24, 7 years is a difference to like I don't know 30 and 37. Maybe you guys are like I guess going through similar things in life. Uma wena uzoba nomuntu una 30 mhlampe like above 30 and they're like 24 or 25 and they're not really in the same life thing,
Life phase.
life journey, not life journey, but yeah, life phase. Ingaba wonky kakhulu. And then obviously ama-gap lawa amakhulu, it's like I don't know if you can beat the generational thing, if you can handle it, then cool. But as
Mm.
long as umuntu omdala like uziphethe wena,
Yeah. Yeah.
uzimele wena, yeah.
Yeah, Shem. It's interesting. I was speaking to like my siblings about this, and then I was saying to them, "Ukuthi, umshado is a good thing, but I would never recommend it to like someone who hasn't lived yet, you know? I say to them, no, you have to own your stuff first. You have to like own stuff by yourself. For some odd reason, I feel like it's cool to just own something, like whether it is a car or a little flatlet or just something, have something of your own that you are responsible for. Um, and I said to them, hopefully not a kid. My sister said, girl, awungitsheli lokho, and she gave birth 2 weeks ago. But she's
Wow.
25 in June. So yeah. But I said to them, you have to own something. Like you have to be something, yeah, 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 cool, without anyone else. Because I feel like that as a woman, that just makes you feel like, um, yeah, there's a certain thing that it unlocks from you, and that just makes you feel like, um, yeah, there's a certain thing that it unlocks from you. And you just, it's so wholesome and it's nice to be able to own something for yourself first. So I said to them, nje angisho lutho, but just own something for yourself, and also be older than 25.
Awuthi bakhuzu,
Then you can get married.
awuthi bakhuzu.
Hey?
They shouldn't khuzuka first. Ungathi bayokhuzuka le, and then get married after they khuzuka, because ngathi sekune-culture yokukhuzuka now.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by huzuga? Oh, like getting
Like
hurt
to khuzuka
relationship wise.
literally, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's there's also this theory of born again virgins.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, for me, I'll put it to the table. Me, I've been thinking now that I've been thinking, because it's like how, and when you research futhi, tiwagune lobolo, kulotsholwa a virgin, they say if you are a non-virgin, uyadabukelwa. So, who gets to dictate the prices and all of those things. Mina ngibona ngathi ngiyoba inkinga nje ezweni. Because it's
Yeah.
I have to be honest, ngoba uma ngithumela abantu le and then they are setting a certain price and I'm like, kumele ngabe mina ngiyanidabukela. So what should happen?
You see, these are the kind of things, by the way, just side notes, and then I'll leave this topic because I feel like I shouldn't be speaking about it. But these are the kind of things that I would like to change in society, by the way, because like, why is the female expected to live to the standard and then guy could have slept with 50 billion women, but for that really get kind of thing. But I guess it's because ilobolo is one-sided as well. Yeah, there's so many things to our culture that we need to just revisit, in my opinion, because
And that's why you hear. That's why you hear. Because I believe Minuguti culture and traditions are evolving. Like as we go, they go as per society. So as much as it's very tricky, the approach in terms of how we approach it, because I can also question the other thing. I was like, getting married to a black woman is expensive because you have to have a traditional wedding and you have to have a white wedding. While abanye abantwana bayashiya, while other kids are building mansions and starting businesses, mina mele ngibhizi ngikhiphana nama-100,000, ngithengana namalobolo, ngithengana ney'nkomo, ngibesana nabantu, where else I could be investing in our family and in our business. So that's how I'm looking at it, mina futhi. I'm being honest because it's like we
yeah,
are having business concepts, business ideas, and we believe Uguti. Now that I've looked at it and I've studied marriage literally systematically it's 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 a contract, it's money, it's banking. Because me and you living under one house, eating under one plate, already that's an investment. It's finances, so it's very very strict and very sharp. Yeah, I understand that. And we grow up in societies where we see people abanye balobola ngama loan, abanye they have to save up and then imali bayayidla laphayana. Mina I've been sent kuyolobola mina ke I've stood egeyidini le. Imagine sekumele ngimemeze ngishaye ingoma, but I guess it was good for me because I got to experience lobo buZulu bakhona ke because
yeah,
thina siphume elokishini yabo. So it's those experiences that like help us ukuthi understand the isiko to an extent and just like what it means ukuba umZulu.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of gameship, It feels ilobolo feels like the Hunger Games. Because there's just so many things that if you know the Hunger Games, you might understand what I'm trying to say.
Yep,
But it
yep,
literally just feels like there's a group of people out there that want to have certain power over the
yes,
couple, and they use the couple
yes,
as this to fight each other kind of
yes,
thing.
yes.
And then what
And the
ends up happening?
couple
Yeah.
always inherits the debt. The couple always inherits the debt.
Yes, the couple inherits the debt. Exactly. They pay for it,
Mhm.
just like
That's
the
what I've noticed.
tributes pay for the capital. But anyways, that's just my two
So
cents.
in a nutshell, we could say we are buying our freedom, basically. Taking inkululeko yethu from our families.
Yeah.
If we have to be abantwana respectable, abahlonipha culture or abantu abadala, we basically buying ourselves out, and
Yep.
then we have to be understanding.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's why you play like as like umkhongi and stuff like that. You play a game, and then later on, the women know this that have married into maybe the Zulu culture especially. They also have to play a game. The next morning they have to do it. where
Yep.
they give iti, they make iti for the whole family up to the children. So the eldest person gets tea made by you. The youngest child gets tea made by you. And you have to fagi pinifa. There's a dress code. There's something you need to do. You need fanege ushane ligceke. And this varies with families, obviously, but that's expected across. But this is never communicated with the makoti. So each family will have like something that's different, like a tweak here and there. So some families will want to see like
Description.
and then other families want you to do itiye, igceke, and something else, but you never know. So you might do itiye because we all know itiye. And then you just don't awushayele igceke, and then all of a sudden you're not good enough for their son. You're not a good makoti. Oh, it's the education that they paid for, by the way, because they said, you are educated. Yeah, so you are more. So they paid for the education, but then they make you suffer because of the education. It's like, oh yeah,
Again.
those kind of things. So it's a game. All of it
And
is.
where's the husband in all of this? Where is he?
Makonstier. Makonstier.
Where is the man that brought you here? Sir,
That is the
these are
question.
your people. Talk to your people. What is
That's the
this?
question. That's the question. So
Because
umhlanga
now,
gets taken aside and it's like umakoti. No, well, see, sunuklala nomakoti. It's very dicey. It's very dicey. So the woman that I mentor, I make sure that they break the diciness and the crookedness and the games. They just break it before. Like they have tea, they have coffee with the future mother-in-law before the lobola happens, and that breaks the ice. They literally get caught off guard because they were planning in their minds, "What's so into le game, le game, le game." And then when she comes and she's like, what is the game? They're all like, no, there's no game. It's like, no, no, I know kumele ngenze itiye. So what itiye do you want? And by doing that, I've seen it work now. It just breaks the game. It breaks the game. Because now they caught out. When I say njalo, kumele nje uqonde ngo. You break this
I
game,
didn't
this
know
stupid
that
game.
still happens.
Okay?
I still hear, actually, I still hear stories from my mom. Someone who went through that. I didn't know it is still happening. Still, and she went through that, and I think she was traumatized really because I still hear it. I still hear about it today about how she used to wake up early from 5 and she was just like cleaning this used to phambili and like sweeping the yard as you were saying. Like she would just be at work the whole day. Like she would just be at work the whole day without food, guys. And where's the man? He's out and about playing soccer and whatever, going to see his friends and just enjoying his life. And he's also gonna come back and expect a hot plate of food. Aibo, am I the wife or the maid here? Guys.
It's in the name. It's in the name, Makoti. That's why I don't like the name. Makonstir, like Usbusiso was saying. It's in the name. If we keep using names that were not ours, we're gonna keep abusing the woman. We're gonna keep abusing each other. And it's so funny that you say that because then your mom, for example, hopefully your mom doesn't do this, hopefully, as an aunt. But people then what they do is that they implement the same abuse to the next generation. And it's like, but you were abused as as a young wife, yeah, but you are now abusing someone else's child. Did you forget the trauma? Surely not. What's going on?
Hurt
Um,
people hurt people.
yeah, but also the patriarchy is really ruled by women. Let's just be real. The patriarchy, women are
Patriarchy. Thank
driving
you.
that thing, not men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usibusiso
Yes.
couldn't
Men are
care
pulling
less. If
women.
Umawake says 1, 2, 3, Usibusiso is fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
True.
that's why it's important for us to change the narrative because we are the ones, we are the problem, and we need to accept that, and then be able to change that. and call each other out as well. Call out the older ladies to be like, "I Bokazini, weren't you traumatized? Why are you now trying to traumatize someone else's child?" Like, that's not surely there are other ways to test if someone can be a good wife.
And the
And
test for what? Your son loves the wife.
okay, okay, yes.
Where's your entry point?
Why,
When
yeah,
we
why
get
are we
out?
testing?
Where's the
That's another
yes, why are
question.
we testing?
Why are we
How
testing? Why are
test
we testing?
why?
Yeah, Shem. Yeah. Yeah. Why are we testing? That's the other thing. And why do we only test the woman? And why is it ipotwe nje testa ipotwe no kushanyela? It's in makostir. It's the makoti. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yes, because I don't see the husband being tested if we are was uklaba. You don't see that. They don't test them with those things.
Well,
But when
when
it
there's
comes to the
funerals,
makoti,
when there's funerals and weddings, they do though. It's just less
they test
brutal.
them.
They test them. So,
Mm,
for example, kumele uhambe uneshofolo. Whether you are a CEO somewhere, you must be the one osiza emangcwabeni, and you help out with things like that. And if ikhlajwa, emakhaya as well, though. Makuhlatshwa kumele uhlabe.
yeah.
You must be able to hlaba the chicken, the inkomo, kumele ukwazi ukuhlaba. So they do test them like that, but it's like I said, it's less brutal, and it's more subtle. They'll just make fun of him in behind closed doors,
Yeah.
whereas a woman is
Okay.
like,
I see. I see. So
yeah,
they'll be checking him, not
yes,
necessarily testing, just like watching what he does.
yep, yep, and then they'll
Okay.
just make fun of him, and bazothi
Yeah.
le
Yeah.
ndoda kasisi. Hey.
And that's the women still, ne? It's still the women talking like that. I need Danko.
Yeah. So no, you have kept quiet. No stay, guys. What are you guys thinking? What's your any thoughts?
I had so many thoughts and then now I khohlwa, so
I'm so sorry.
here I am. No, it's okay. But I just ended up forgetting what I wanted to ask. So it's okay.
Aish. I hope you remember them, yes. You can just interject next time you remember if you remember them.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, I think for me, because I was actually what you guys were talking about, Uguti, age Gamandisa, and who's the guy she's dating now, who's Zenzele. So I was actually curious because I think Mandisa, she's a boss. She's a taxi boss, if I'm not mistaken. After her
Mm.
dad passed on or something, she then took over the business. So now I'm a bit skeptical because if she's young and then now she marries Uzenzele, is he gonna be a supportive husband and allow her to still lead the taxi business, or is he really in love with Umandisa, or is it an alignment to take over the taxi business also? So it's quite worrisome, with he wants to marry her and she's a boss babe, and she's quite young and she's naive because she's still it was also in Tombinto, and like what you guys said, her age is less than 25. So she's quite young, she's naive, she's very gullible, and she's gonna look at Zenzele as her hero who saved her when she was almost killed and all those things. So it makes me worry, Oguti, is she still gonna be able to run that business, or is Zenzele now gonna take over that business? Maybe he's looking at a retirement plan for himself. Because I think one of the brothers also had said with him, umandisa uzosilisela iy'nkinga ey'ningi, and one of those problems will be the taxi problems because I think mostly their main focus is ukuba iy'nkabi. But then now if they become iy'nkabi and taxi bosses, taxi industry has its own enemies, you know. So like now you already have your existing enemies, and then now you're adding new enemies. Already him marrying Mandisa, the brother is gonna be his enemy. You know, he's gonna be trying to kill both of them, and perhaps other people who want the roots as amateksi kaMandisa. So I was just worried ukuthi fine, they're in love, but is Zenzele really, really in love with Mandisa now? But I guess as time goes, it will reveal itself.
Mm-hmm. You're so right. And the taxi business is very much aligned with politics most of the time, like politics. It's an open secret, really. That yeah, Inkabi, especially the taxi industry Inkabis, are the ones that sort out political assassinations. So it's dicey. Qinisile shem. Uqinisile. Hmm.
Yeah, but I guess will tell. Time will tell. Plus, also with that other one, with the age, you can see with Uzenzele and Mandisa, well, Zenzele and Mandisa, they're not really too worried about their age. But then you've got Mazwi, he's worried about his girlfriend because she's older because of how society is. I don't know when society maybe will get comfortable with women maybe being a bit older than their partner, you know, because I still feel like even people who still date younger when they're ladies, they still have that shyness, you know, bazobe kubiza ugogo, even if it's a year or 2 years, they'll still call you ugogo. So I don't know when society is gonna learn to accept ukuthi, okay, like it's okay, women can also date someone younger.
Yini so khona ombhekile.
I so.
You sound so passionate ngale movement.
Yeah, Bora Shem. No, I just find it concerning, Shem, because I know a few friends who have. I think a friend of mine, her husband is younger by 2 years, and they're okay. But obviously, maybe or sometimes, you know, I try not to talk about certain things like that about young. I don't, because I know how society is not yet gelling with the fact that sometimes women can be older than their husband and they can actually live a peaceful marriage, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, the stereotypes are actually quite hectic, eh? Hlezi kubuyelwa phansi nje, and then but it's interesting. I think it depends where as well, because also I know like with 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 my family, if the guy is too close to your age, so like if for example uthandana nomuntu olingana nawe, so if you both 30 or you both 40 or 20, whatever, that's also frowned upon. And then babiza ingane for some odd reason. But uthandana nengane. Sengathi wena ugogo in a sense. So I don't know why that happened. I must ask them about that. Why? Ya ngizobabuza ukuthi why bazosho ukuthi yaqala inkathazo ngazi bekhuluma nobani usine sezosibuza le mibuzo. But yeah, my family even like if you're the same age, then they go, you know. So he's not really younger than you, but they still assume ukuthi he's younger than you. Even though they know the age, ukuthi mhlambe he's like your age or like a year older than you. They would still be like, thandana nengane, thandana nengane nje. Uzodlala ngengane. And it's like, wait, but the same age or older. Um, so I wonder why that's the case, but yeah, it's a very good. Yeah.
Apparently, it's because I don't know how true this is, but apparently it's because girls they mature a lot quicker than boys. So even if they're the same age, you find that boys usemncane nje ngokwengqondo. Apparently, I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, my feeling is that just society is against women being happy in general. The fact that we exist rubs them off the wrong way. So everything we do is wrong. So
Everything we do, who we love, how we love, how we think, everything's always wrong, G.
yeah,
Kahle.
that's wrong. Yeah,
You
basically.
know, I was thinking it sort of highlights how ukuthandana as umuntu wesifazane with umuntu omdala or umuntu wesilisa iyinjwayelo enkulu kabi. It's something abantu are not gonna bat an eye. They will not bat an eye bebona ukuthi ujonana nomuntu ona-10 years above noma ona-5 years above you, but wena mhlampe uzoshada nomuntu who's like 6 years younger than you. Angithi asisho nje mhlampe I'm not gonna talk about the 20s because the 20s are a very weird time vele. So mhlampe like uma mina ngina-38 and ngishadana nendoda mhlampe say 32, bangakuhleka lokho, they can say a lot of things about that. But if it's a young girl and an older man, it's like, hayi uyena lona ufuna ukuqoma ngokushesha yini, she wants to be this, she wants to be in the streets, yena ufuna, it is weird. It is weird. I don't condone yabo itshitshi, like a teenager dating somebody much older than her, or even somebody in their 20s, yabo. But it's yeah. Ngathi nje we are very used to older men dating younger women. It's never the other way around.
Hey, Mina, can I just, the most painful thing, yeah, I'll speak from a male perspective, right? The most painful thing for you women, girls, sisters, is that a guy bakangafuna kafuni, ish. Cause Mina, I'm probably like a bad example. Mina, I've been around, ish, and bengafuni, and like I was there for a minute, and I knew it from when I was going in, even when it was becoming long. I understood Uchi, but no, no, no. This is my wife's energy. Like, ungazongidina, like slow it down because I'm not here for long. And it sounds mean and bad and horrible, but like I feel Uchi like me now. Somebody I believe in soulmates or something like that. But I always had that image of my wife, and I preserved myself for my wife. And I got around, and I was in the streets, and I grew up, and I experienced life the wrong way. It is wrong now that I look at it in hindsight. But for me, it's like I chose Uguti. Okay, I'm only giving myself to this extent, but I have to guard my heart because it belongs to my wife. And it's such a shame now that I look at it in hindsight, because I sometimes wonder and say like, what did these girls wrong? I've left the girl because I left her at my place. Ngathola atabule ama rolls and she didn't open the package proper. And I didn't even tell her. Like I came in, I saw ama rolls lay atabule ngesandla, and I'm like, this one she's playing. And in my head, I already knew that I was done with this girl. Like,
Aibo, Sbusiso, Aibo. Benidla ama-rolls. So like ama-rolls lawa. Like bread rolls.
you see, like when you buy like six yama rolls, like six yama rolls. So the girl came to visit, right? So we went to a Pick and Pay. We bought a couple of stuff. Ukuthi umntana ahlale ana something, right? And we bought ama rolls. Like angithaboshwa ngesindo phezulu, right? So mina the way ngikhuliswa ngakhona, like you untie ifindo, ukhipha a roll, and you do what you do. When you're done, uyalibopha le phezulu. So I came in.
Oh, double
lidabukile
plastic.
plastic.
Not even in
Yes,
rolls. Oh,
and
double
already in my head
plastic.
it's like, yes, in my head it's like, how do I tell this girl what are you doing? But like I'm done. And you let the girl down slowly because we are
Aibo.
too like, and you just distance yourself. And like this has been my entire life, guys. And buhlungu kimi khona manje because I'm like, ish, I have to get married. So how do I tolerate? And I mean, I was very domesticated. I was like one boy amongst five girls, but like I had to do the garden, I had to cook, I had to do the dishes, I had to clean. So I'm very precise, like with everything. So it's like, no mubambi mo, big, and I look at you and it's like, hey, my sister. So I don't know.
Yeah. That's supposed to be yangihlekisa. And you see,
I'm
you see
I'm
what's
being
funny?
honest.
You see what's funny about love though is that yabona ngokusho kanje. It's like those guys that say, "Oh, I don't understand why guys would allow for their hands or their girlfriends to eat from their plates when they have their own food." Until those guys fall in love. Until they meet umaqondana wabo. Then
True,
all of
probably.
those things they just disappear. They
I
disappear.
mean, I'm judgmental. You. I probably judged very harshly abantwana babantu because it's like, yo, like, yo. And now that I look at it, because it's as if I'm teaching myself to be kind, to be humble, to be understanding. Kodwa uma ngibhekisisa nje, and it's like, yo, I. I was, because it's like, yo, if this girl is thinking like this, like, yo, like, obviously, mhlambe kuba nawo amanye ama-signs, those other little things, but like they just pair. But when I look at it, like it's petty things that turn people off, I think. I don't know.
It is. It's
Because
little things.
but we never honest about these things. Ukuthi alo, kube umbonile uvule kanjani plastic. Like, ucabanga kanjani? I don't
Ucabanga
know
kanjani?
about these things. Ukuthi alo, kube umbonile uvule kanjani plastic. Like, ucabanga kanjani? I don't
Ucabanga
know.
kanjani?
Yes. Because the approach is strategy. You're looking at like the present, past, future of the approach, and you're like, hey, my sister.
From just a
No,
plastic bag being torn apart, so you're already thinking about the past, the present, and the future.
it was sitting lapha phezulu kwekhabethe and it's open. Like, sengibona ama-roll dry. I'm like, hey, lo uzongwestela imali, lo uzoshiya ama-roll abe-dry la. Like, hey, she must go. Maybe
No, but
angazi.
no, I feel like what Sneh is saying is true. With September, you just haven't found someone you really care about to that extent. Because I'm a role, it's not a big deal. You know, like I'm a relationship, kunenkinga ezinkulu kakhulu. Abantu bayachitha, abantu baletha iy'ngane nani. You know, so like and she doesn't know you. You know, I feel like you need to give the ladies you meet grace because you've been with yourself for 34 years and they meet you at 34, there's a certain way you want your food to be cooked or whatever. You start showing that person. And I'm assuming you might even be shocked. So that girl you actually say, they am a role, there's so much grace she was giving you with certain things that pretty you were doing that were wrong, but she would overlook it and be like, I know ngizomfundisa ukuthi mina ngithanda lokhu nalokhu nalokhu. Because I saw Sangoma, you know. So you had to now guide her. Because no, to next time when you open this thing, ivule kanje, then not because izowawomisa ama-roll. I don't even think she was gonna have an issue. But for you, you just didn't like her. So you were like, any smaller than a mistake,
Most likely, most likely, most likely,
yeah.
most likely.
Mm.
But this thing, I'm sorry, yo. So I'm sorry, yes. Because I sit down and think, Uguchi, other girls are just insecure for nothing. because you start doubting your insecurities. Kanti uprada, maybe he's just not there. Yeah, but so maybe that's my advice. Uguchi guys also ask this, yo,
You realize you're the problem, Susis, ngama rules akho. Yeah, strict program, hey? But also, it's so funny because I feel like, I don't know what you guys believe in and all of that, but I do believe that, like, you do meet your person and they will accommodate even the most stupid things, you might meet a person ozovala uplastic in the way that you like. And they will do it no like second nature kind of thing, and it'll be in passing. You'll be like, uzongisebela imali lo, kumele ngimshade lo, because of the way they open the pack of rolls. Yeah, ziyenzeka lezo zinto. Smallest things.
the thing is, Tina, as guys, we are always taught about the domestic part of a woman. Mhlawumbe, or that's at least what we should expect, right? I did a fat and set. I did a fat and set in my long run of growing up in my 20s, right? So I got to live Nomuntu and experience life and all those things. Mhlawumbe that's why also I have other fears and all these things. But I realized, Uguchi, I was umzulu, mfuni papa, but now it's like, yo, we can cook once, twice a week or three times. Like, there's no need yokuthi always do case every day, uphizi uzophiza ufakana nepoto la. It's those things. Because we were taught, na umntana abantu, she's taught you must cook every day. Uyapheka, ulahle ukudla, and it's like, yo, we wasting money here. Angazi if ngithola, but it's the customs that we inherit kuthiwa kumele ushaye ipoto, all these things. And if akushaywa ipoto, they're not giving you food in a tray, it's like sewuyadelelwa or you are being taken advantage of. Because these are the things that are drilled into us.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's so funny, like one of the things that I think like I love listening to omama abadala when they speak. And ogogo khulukazi abadala that have really done life. They will say, or they always say, ukuthi, um, like it's the thing that is more important is how like you treat each other and all of that, because they realized ukuthi labo makoti laba that tick all the boxes, uyapheka, siphekele sonke endlini, agqoke njengoba esifuna nephinifa afake I can't remember what this thing is called. And cover up like her shoulders, and she wears a doek and all of that. They ended up later on in life being the same woman that they will say, "Ukuthi kahle kahle le ngane la kuyona la ekhaya, ingane from somewhere else." Those women that people thought, oh no, they are very much, they're domesticated and they follow culture to the T, and they're very respectful. They don't ask questions. Ukuthi ubuyaphi baba? Wabuya ebusuku manje? Wabuya isususuthi? They don't ask those questions. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, baba. The yebo baba ladies. They found that later on. These were the same women that were like, you know what? You think you can play me? I'll play you. I'll do you one better. Le ngane ozoyikhulisa uyondle akuyona neyakho. Um but yeah, like it's very interesting. It's very interesting. And I think women have been like that forever, and men as well. These little things, because we are taught to be a certain way. Like the thing that I always hates is how like we are raised as women ukuthi kumele uhlale yabona nje ungasana uhlale ulengisa amathanga amabesho and all of these things, but kumele uhlale uyiqoqe, yebo, vala amathanga. Ubuye emini, ungabuye ebusuku. Yabona nje intombazana ayilali kuphume ilanga. All these random things that has never helped them.
Ekhaya bathilana ingene emtsinsileni.
Mm? Yeah, but those things have never helped them, you know, and they've never made a household, and those things have never made their marriages to be beautiful. In fact, they have then also ushered in GPV because of these random things. Like, I mean, Molala was like child 12, well, who cares? If both of you Lale was like child 12, who cares? How is that going to change anything, you know? And waking up early, how does that change everything? Being able to cook or not cook should be a way of survival and not a standard of your womanhood. You know, you give birth. I think that's a pretty big thing that we can all agree does actually contribute to society, you know? Like since if women said, you know what, no more kids ever again, then the population would end there, you know, that would be the end of society. So I think there are bigger things like the fact that we carry kids, and that should be enough. And even if we decide not to carry kids, that also should be enough. The fact that we can is enough. Um, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I think I've noticed that I think maybe it's mostly in the black culture where okay, maybe even other cultures, but I'll just speak for now with SA we see mostly it's black and white. I think mostly it's the black culture where women are a bit more maybe you could say oppressed than the other cultures. Because I remember this time I went ngangivakashile eSabatheni, but Sabatheni it had whites and colors and blacks. And the guys would carry the chairs for us. They would make sure we're sitting, etc., etc. And then in my church, my family church is totally different because amadoda they come first. They like mhlambe if iy'tulo ziyashota, it will mean the ladies mhlambe kuyomele bephakame maybe beyohlala ecansini emuva or something because like men are just they're the thing like they're the glory. So I was just like kunzima nje to be a woman sometimes ukuthi because even that thing ukuthi nabafazi abafundise esontweni nani you just get there you sit and the men are the men. So I think mostly it's in And so I think mostly it's in black cultures where women are told to be timid, ukuthi niyixoxe, even like mama doda khuluma, you can't speak as a woman, mama doda khuluma, you just need to keep quiet. Or mhlawumbe ungabona a room isinamadoda amaningi, mhlawumbe senisele niyi-two as abantu besimame, you guys just politely just leave the room because you can now see ukuthi okay no, akusafuneki lana umbono wethu awusafuneki, so kukhuluma amadoda manje. So it's hectic, being a black woman. And it depends also on the families. Some families, I think, they're gearing up to being more modern, but some families still have that tradition. Ukuthi no, 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 no. Masuk namadoda, ubani nina. You just automatically know ukuthi sokumele siphume thina asisafuneki lana sokukhuluma amadoda manje.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Automatic. What was it? Automatic.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
Paul.
watch that? Yeah, did you guys watch that? I sent a TikTok a few weeks ago of a producer and a director ekhuluma ngemovie yakhe. What's it? Shut up, the men are talking. Ibidlala ku-YouTube. That story, yabona nje lento bekhuluma manje wesithe Jenna, that movie, all that you're just saying now, it was that movie. And I was like, I was angry. I had to pause so many times because he put it out like angazi how many weeks he was putting out bits and bits and bits. Nakhona production nje kunezinto nje kumnikinishe in production, so he couldn't put everything out. And he ended up doing that, I think, at the end of April. Ma ngikhumbula kahle. And it was really nice. It would have been nice if you guys watched it, but it was basically about yeah, the abuse and even just umuntu wesifazane not being believed when things happen to them in the hands of indoda. And how you see abantu besifazane having to make difficult choices when the men in their lives, yeah, bangcolile, yabo. And especially if you are a friend to that person, what type of choices you have to make right then and there, and for your child, for your community, for yourself. Yeah, one and it's just like, yo, I, it's exactly, it's like it was like that. Ah,
Hmm. Yo, I'm just thinking now, like, what would, because I think in society, all of us are just always, I think, when it comes to the opposite sex, we always, and besilisa always trying to rule over this was always trying to rule over on besilisa, that we're not trying to see each other. Like ukuthi sibonane, you know. And what you guys are saying now literally reminds me of, like, makes me think of that. Ukuthi, if abantu besilisa really saw abantu besifazane, the way that they see their sisters and their mothers, and then vice versa with women. And fine. So a lot of us might not have really great relationships with our dads. But let's say your brother or a male figure in your life that you really love and you honor and you respect and you would kill for this man. If we treated men like that and men treated women the way they would treat their sisters, just how different it would be. Because even the whole, like, having to leave certain spaces and things like that. Would you really make your sister do that? I'm not sure. Some men maybe might say, yes, I would do that. But I mean, you wouldn't want your sister to be like ridiculed or utabukele phansi, acizelele phansi, or abused, those kind of things. You wouldn't want to do that. And same with us. Like, I wouldn't want my baby brother to be abused or to be treated a certain way or to be called trash. I don't have a child, but like I wouldn't want my, like, one day, if I decide one day my son to be, treated a certain way because he's a man. But obviously I know I have to raise him properly as well, raise him properly with my husband. But that's the thing. It's like, if we actually treated each other the way that we, yeah, you get what I'm saying, guys. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but for me, it's just the way that we
Definitely.
see each other is it's so evil. There's an evil
Mhm.
element to it. Yeah.
As you're talking, it's as if like laba abanye babhadalela izono zalaba abanye. Because like you, I'll make an example with the subject yelobola, right? Right. Uh, logic mind says, fine. I'm saying I'm ready to settle down, Yaktanda, and I wanna get married to you. So when you were running around doing whatever, and I have to come now, pay ilobola, where else you were giving it to other guys for free. Ubani slim. Like it hits me as a male, which okay, fine. Like, where's the logic in Uguchi? Am I not pare? At the end of the day, Uguchi, she went and slept with all these, and then I have to come now and keep paying is 11. But she made a conscious decision when she was in high school. She made a conscious decision when she was in varsity. She made a conscious decision at McDonald's, and I have to come now the same way I made a conscious decision, right? But I have to man up and Nick Tabgele. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Damn. Hectic.
Busisiso
But
is so strict.
hectic. But I don't know. It depends how you look at marriage, because I don't think
But
the people she was
Yes.
sleeping with, she was marrying them. There's a lot that comes with marrying someone, you know. It's a unity of families. And most of the time, sometimes when you're paying lobola, you're also paying for the kids you'll have so that they will carry your surname, you know. And there's a lot of duties she will be doing at your family compared to the girl or the guys she was sleeping with. I don't think she was going there, makshoniwe, and all the other things. Like it takes a lot to be a wife, you know. And I think if men could look at that with holistically and not look at the body, because if you objectify a woman, then that's when you feel like yamdabukela mawumkhokhela ilobola, because you feel like, oh no, sebemdlile abanye bamshiya kwasha kwacima, you know, and mina I'm here to save her, you know. But I've found men who've married women with 2 kids. I don't think they had that mentality when they were marrying women with 2 kids. It's a love thing. And then you look at that woman and you're like, I want to create life with this woman. I want her in my life forever, you know. Hence, there's so many ceremonies that get created there. If you're not a Christian, she even changes her surname to your surname. So girlfriends don't do that, you know. And it's also a double standard because now you're not Ilona, you're not fresh, you know, you've been having your fun, and the people you were having
I'm
fun with,
paying the lobola.
someone else has
Yimo
to
patali lobola. Yimo patali lobola. 75 rand marriage
pay.
certificate.
Like
If
that money is
siyahlangana, singahamba siyobhatala 75 rand and we have a witness and we do what we have to do and we work in our business and basna 40 or sina 50, siyama millionaire and then we can have a wedding. Because I was having a conversation with my other friend with Chapsida, like we've been friends for a very long time. I was asking her about marriage, ubuza mina ukuthi mina why mina ngingamshadi. And I'm telling her uyafisa. Because no, I'm being honest. She's been my friend for a very long time, and I chose to respect her, and I learned a lot from keeping her close. And she also has a kid, right? Marriage
okay.
certificate. We were talking about the difference between a marriage and a wedding, right? What is between the marriage and the wedding? Because a wedding is expensive, and marriage is from God, according to what I believe now. Gucci, marriage is an institution from God and it's for the children. It has nothing to do with me and you. Me and you have to come together and become one. And these children that will carry this surname, that will carry this education. So why am I supposed to then jump all these hoops and perform all these customs? Chuchi nkothamela wena.
Likewise with
Oh,
women, hey? Women have to, there's so many hoops that we have to do as well, hey? Like Uste was talking about the duties that we have to fulfill. And that's why I think it's good that we have to look at our culture and see what benefits us, what doesn't benefit us anymore, especially in the day and age that we're in, because ultimately men were meant to just be the providers, right? Only providers. But nowadays, I mean, some men would really love chat wives. Shout out to them, great. But most men are like, no, you have to come here. You know, what do you bring to the table? You know, what's your net worth? All of those things, you know, the guilies are asking that. What do you bring to the table? So with that means that we have to relook at what is expected of women and what's expected of men as well, but what's expected of women, because you can't now expect that same woman to be, you know, to be cooking, cleaning, rearranging everything if she works a 9 to 12
Yabo.
or 7 because she's a lawyer at a law firm at the big five. She's bringing in the dough. You know what I mean? You gotta expect her to be like
Yeah.
so we have to relook at these things because we have the opportunity now to actually make money as Black people, as women. So we have to rearrange those things, rearrange culture and look at those things again. Oh.
without pleasing society, without pleasing society, because it appears Wuti, if we decide to do what we decide, bazosikhomba, bazosibhekela phansi. Because Mina, I'm more keen on what is beneficial for the future.
Mhm.
And Mina, I also love like literature. Literature, like whether it's English, no matter like how like the words our elders used, it's like in English, when are you making an honest woman out of her? You know, when are you making an honest woman out of her? So it's those terms now, so like they carry so much weight.
Yeah, like what is honesty? What is that honesty? What is that? Like what are we trying to do there?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's it's an engagement point. What do they mean by that? What is this transaction? What is it? Kahle kahle, let's see sure.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Mm-hmm. And do we want to continue with that? That's the thing that we need to figure out, hey, as the aunties and the uncles and the mothers and the fathers of the next generation. We need to figure these things out because, man, it's not serving us, and it's causing a lot of friction. Lobola was meant to, for example, back in the day, it was a sign to show the family that Ugailo is able to look after Ugel. But if Ugel is working at the big five year law firm, like I said, it's not just about looking after, right? It's also other stuff now that is expected ultimately. Same with Ugel. Ugel might have been, what does she bring to the table, whatever it is. And then now things have changed. So we need to sit down at the table and have discussions. Kusisifunani kahle kahle? What do we want from relationships besides kids?
True.
Because kids are, I mean, fine. That is one of the things, maybe the biggest things that maybe people would want from each other. But what else do we want? Like, what do we actually want? Love? Okay. What is love then? How do you accept love? How do I accept love? How do I receive love? I mean, and how do I give love? So on and so forth. Just sitting down at the table and having actual conversations. I'm not talking over each other, but with each other, you know? So no, you were gonna say something. Hey.
True. True.
No, I wanted to say a while ago, ukuthi, in this country, there are a lot of laws that were put in place where thina as abantu besifazane we were deemed as minors. That history in and of itself puts a whole lot of strain on the generation and the generation after. Nalapho angikhumbuli ukuthi bekuyinini lokho. I
You
think
mean
it
like
was
our
around
first
like the
paper kind of
1950s.
vibes, or
No, it's more ukuthi legally we weren't seen as like abantu who could stand on their own,
aha.
right? Kodwa abafazi bephepha, I've not heard of that term.
You never. The fuzzy that
No.
goes and makes sure that she's registered with the husband so that she can get his inheritance, like his
Wow. Yes,
um
yes.
yeah, his house.
The Western woman, basically.
Sowetan, yeah, some people call it Joburg woman, Joburg wife, because Kono Mame Kaya, but she doesn't get anything. Um, but the other one gets everything because her stuff is more legal and stuff. So she wins in court. So
No,
there
I'm
was a
talking
term.
about colonial times. That's more apartheid
Ah,
times, in my opinion. I'm
you're
talking
right.
about colonial. I would even go back. No, it's actually more colonial because I think pre-colonially there were still things that were happening. And like I always hear abantu abahlukile abafunda ngehistory bekhuluma ukuthi thina besiphethe, like in society besiphethe, and then Savannah sawa nje. And there were many things that happened nje kuningi bokwenzeka, and there's still so much being uncovered. So yeah, some people ilobolo to them doesn't make, there's it doesn't there isn't really any weights for them ukuthi balotshole because like I I have my own things. People are gonna expect this and this out of me, but like I own like in this generation, I feel freest now. I don't feel like I'm under somebody type of thing. And it's still happening in different places where abantu bazizwa ngathi abanayo control over their lives as abantu besifazane. Um, but that also compounds with the fact that abantu abamnyama have also experienced slavery within the country. Ngeke sikwazi ukukhuluma nalapho with all the other African countries that experience their own type of enslavement and human trafficking and transportation of abantu. But yeah, enslavements seemingly
Well, in
ayikho.
terms of like systematic laws or systematic enslavement, teenagers in South Africa, we like basically the babies. We like what 32 years right into democracy. I think we like the youngest. Other countries are 50 years plus, 40, 60, 80, 70. So in terms of that, and then when you look at the societal status of black women as a whole, from BEE is above 100%, where else a black man is 100%. So in terms of amatenda and all these things, Aboket Matlala, they use women as faces because when you're doing business with a black woman, you are able to angazi bayibizani in terms of like your taxes and everything. So black women have been given like a shift and a focus. Me now personally, if I become more strict as an observer, I believe Uguti, our sisters are consumers more than anything. It's because we are using our money or you are using your money into buying things that do not create value, but they depreciate value over time. You buy liabilities instead of assets. Hence, over like 80% of black women are indebted. Now, when I look at the fact that I look at the system and I study it, when I look at a girl inside a car, I'm like, yo, baby girl, this has an 72 months installment. And after 2 months installment, and after COVID, due to COVID and all these things, you realize in terms of how much job securities and all these things, once you realize ukuthi, consumerism, you are enslaved to the system, hence people are under medication and all these other things also.
I think that's just a abantu thing though, the consumerism thing. I don't think it's just for women. I think women are more flashy about it. Hence, people were caught, angithi, onkosi labo were caught because Kosi's wife was on Instagram and TikTok showing us her ihasha alitholile ngoKhisimusi. You know what I mean? Like, I think women are more flashy. Well, majority of women are flashier than men, with the consumerism thing. I think it's a universal thing once you've tasted money. And it obviously also, I
Mm.
think, is ruled because of black people didn't have we were the have-nots during apartheid. So when people get money, then they want to just splurge. I don't think it's a woman thing only. Yeah. Hey, but guys, it's kude. Hey, our grandparents were kude. We are just the
Definitely. And we are enjoying. For me personally, like the more I'm learning like I am grateful. Like it's so sad because I was looking at it like 14, it's difficult. Angazi ukuthi how do I classify? I'm a millennial, right? Must be I'm a millennial, right? We basically basifika esikolweni, they were telling us about Mandela and all these great opportunities. Basifika ekhaya basitshela ngamabhunu nokuthi i-Afrikaans singayithandi, but esikolweni sifunda i-Afrikaans. So we were very confused also because as much as we were pushing forward, they pulled us back. And we carry these two different generations and these two different dynamics, and we somewhat are meant to match it khona manje because babheke thina and move it forward. Because ama 2K are 2K. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but like these kids don't look like they're gonna last. And the baba na 30, bazobe bana 50 or 60 in terms of their biological age, because they are very fast. They are very fast. They are exposed to sex from a primary. By the time they matriculate, they expert. I'm living la Gqeberha next to the Nelson Mandela University, so I'm surrounded by students. It is a painful sight to see because when I look at myself around those age and I look at the pace and how these kids are growing, ebusweni, when I look at them, they old, they finished. It's sad. And both girls and boys. I'm not saying Uguchi it's one generation or both girls and boys.
Mm. Yeah, ne? That's I feel like that's a very deep topic as well because I feel like the generation Yamanje, um, they're very exposed, right? There's also another element of them that I like to focus on, and that's they don't have they don't have like they speak their mind. um they question things. They look at what has always happened and how we always have done things, and they ask why must we do it like that. And I'm hoping they would lean more into that because I feel like that is such a superpower. And I think for us to survive as abantu abamnyama, ngikhuluma about other races, couldn't care less about them right now, but as abantu, like we need that, we need to really just ask the questions, to look at society and look at everything that we do and ask the questions and the whys and not just accept things, yeah, which I think millennials, we did that, we were a very respectful generation. We said
Yes,
yes
yes,
to
yes.
everything that we were told, and we didn't question things. And the ones that did question were the anomalies, and it was frowned upon. But we need that. We need that because we can't keep going the way that we're going. Otherwise, we'll lead each other off a cliff, as abantu, because we can't keep going like that. But you're right. There's the other side where they're fast. Everything is just fast, and information. They have so much information. It's overload, yet it's not giving them a better, richer life. It's giving them a life, and sometimes I think it's an empty life and an empty, and a hollow. Yeah, because sometimes knowledge can be a bad thing, as much as sometimes it can also be a good thing. So, but we are the aunties, eh? We need to navigate them, help them funnel through the knowledge that they have and the fast pacedness, and to just be like, whoa, reel it in, girl, reel it in, boy. Just asambe kancane, asambe kancane. Instead of just looking and saying, hayi, niyayibonela nani.
Auntie, Mina, I've been myself at that here because a kid will call you Chomi. Like, what next should I say? Wow, what do you expect from me at this point? When you say Chomi, what level of conversation will stem from that scenario?
I
Like,
mean, you
and
can
it's
you can speak to
normal.
them. You can speak to them. Speak to them like you would like a friend. I mean, they're already exposed to a lot of things. So speak to them and be like,
They look you in
yeah,
your
speak
no,
about your own life, your own
auntie.
regrets. There's that.
Not that kind of Chomi. Like Chomi, let's go. Not that kind of like Chomi, let's go. I'm ready,
Oh,
Chomi.
oh, like she's
Like,
availing
let's
herself.
go. Yes, in your eyes. And you are shocked and utugile and umtala. And I'm like, hi, Mutata. Like, call me father. I'm your
Yes,
father.
you must say that. You must keep saying that. You must keep
I
saying that.
say that. But it's like they dumbstruck. It's like I'm actually realizing, like, in society, which like we've become far so gone. Like, kubuhlungu.
Yeah, because there's
It's
some guys your age won't be saying Gimdala. They'll just be like,
that's what I
Chobi, let's go.
yeah. They enjoy they and that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying ukuthi it's painful to comprehend because it's like angithi mina sengiyabona ukuthi nami because I was a young boy, I was outgoing bengishela, so ngiyashelwa and it's like you using the game I planted in this game or in this street and it's coming true man because it's like no child angazi if you understand it, so it's like it's my demons at the end of the day. That's how I
Coming
look at it.
back.
Ukuthi angithi when I was young, I was going around, but now it's coming back, and it's like the whole nation is polluted, khona manje.
Yeah. That's why we must call each
So
other
it's like
out.
a mirror staring back.
You must call other guys,
Yep,
Busiso, and say to them, stop going after little girls. These are children. You are an
I'm
adult.
that guy
Say
now.
no to the child.
Hence, I was even asking about the age appropriate because, like, and the gubhlungu, ish. There's this. I'm working at a center, right? So it's like an entire mall basically. So when you're walking, when you're on the escalator, I'm a very open person. Like ngiphila nawo wonke umuntu. So when you greeting ubulisa as ubhuti, as an elder, as a sign of respect, so ungenile and you find yourself so phakathi and it's like, ish, how do I handle this now? And you see these girls are genuine, some of them, and they're innocent. And then that's why you looking at the age as well, and you're like, ish, but no, you understand. So it's a very tough pill to swallow, cause and then I have to pick a wife, and it's like, ish, how do I even approach this?
Yeah, so
So it's
just
a, it's a
don't
very
pick a child. That's all we expect, Busiso.
I cannot,
Cannot pick
I
a child.
cannot.
Don't pick a child, please.
And I have younger sisters, so I guess you mean that's been the blessing also in disguise. Yeah, understand? Because growing up, even like when abangani bagasis wabosis,
So
so it's a
just don't
very
pick a child. That's all we expect, Busiso.
I cannot,
Cannot pick
I
a child.
cannot.
Don't pick a child, please.
And I have younger sisters, so I guess you mean that's been the blessing also in disguise. Yeah, understand? Because growing up, even like when abangani bagasis wabosis when they come around and they start, ooh, your brother. I got to understand, and then zonke lezi zinto. So fortunately, it made me somewhat tough, and it kind of made me more respectful to society when Namia was going through my phase, Yobu boy, because I always had those models, and I would think of my little sisters in my head. She'd be like, yo, you understand? And you're like, hey, yo, this girl is my sister's age. How would I feel about my sister? You understand? And then now your sisters also have kids, and it's like, yo, ish,
Mhm.
like, and your sisters are single moms, and you're like, yo, ish. It's like, yo, so how do we make sure our society is secure and how do we angazi if I'm tall?
Mm,
And me, I'm feeling it me now, to be honest, actually.
yeah. Yeah. Hi. Let's stop there. It is 18 minutes past 7, which is like 18 minutes overtime. So sorry for that, guys. But yeah, these are very let it eat at you, we'll see. So it must eat at you. I feel like as a society, things need to eat at us, you know, they need to trouble us. We shouldn't just accept everything. And if we're accepting everything, then there's something wrong with our thinking. If everything is just fine, then that means we are not seeing the gaps. We are not seeing the things that need to change or need to be bettered. And that means you are now in heaven or wherever. Like you're now in a place where there's no evil, which, I mean, on this earth, there's always going to be something. We just need to be aware of it and find it wrong and to continue to find it wrong. So yeah, so Sizo Bonana, sometime in June, yeah, the next peeps next week, well, they'll be reading the exact same chapters. So, but if you want to come through as well, you can for conversations, but we're reading the same chapters. But yeah. So, and then, I think, you're the only one in Durban. I'll be in Durban from next week, Sunday, for the whole week. So maybe we can hang out for coffee or something if you would like. But yeah, we'll talk.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Say, are you also in Durban?
No, I'm in Pretoria, but I think
Yes.
by November 25th I'll be in Palito though.
No, guys, we should meet. Okay, we're gonna meet. Ask Spusiso. Sorry, Spusiso. You are not that side. But yes, we can meet, guys. We can meet. Mostly Palito, very easy things. We can meet somewhere central with Sino and stay. And there's someone else also in Durban. I think we'll
I
call
cannot.
you. We can, yeah, we can figure out sometime, maybe on the weekend or something. Because I'll be there till the 31st, I think. So it's like a whole week that I'll be in Durban. Because my also so I'm a graduator, so I'm going down for a graduation and then I'm gonna stay for a bit.
Mm. Well done, well done.
Kulil umtwana. But yeah, I we'll talk, guys. We'll talk. Nilale kahle.